Lecture 6. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begot Salathiel, and Salathiel begot Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begot Abihud, and Abihud begot Eliakim, and Eliakim begot Azor. And Azor begot Zadok, and Zadok begot Achim, and Achim begot Eliud. And Eliud begot Eleazar, and Eleazar begot Matan, and Matan begot Jacob. Pseudo-Chrysostom. After the carrying away, he sets Jeconiah again, and as now become a private person. Ambrose, of whom Jeremiah speaks, writes, "This man dethroned, for there shall not spring of his seed one sitting on the throne of David." Jeremiah 22:30. How is this said of the prophets, that none of the seed of Jeconiah should reign? For if Christ reigned, and Christ was of the seed of Jeconiah, then has the prophet spoken falsely? But it is not there declared that there shall be none of the seed of Jeconiah, and so Christ is of his seed, and that Christ did reign, is not in contradiction to the prophecy, for he did not reign with worldly honors, as he said, "My kingdom is not of this world." John 18:36. Pseudo-Chrysostom. Concerning Salathiel, we have read nothing either good or bad, but we suppose him to have been a holy man, and in the captivity to have constantly besought God in behalf of afflicted Israel, and that hence he was named Salathiel, the petition of God. Salathiel begot Zerubbabel, which is interpreted flowing, postponed, or of the confusion, or here the doctor of Babylon. I have read, but know not whether it be true, that both the priestly line and the royal line were united in Zerubbabel, and that it was through him that the children of Israel returned into their own country. For that in a disputation held between three, of whom Zerubbabel was one, each defending his own opinion, Zerubbabel's sentence that truth was the strongest thing prevailed, and that for this Darius granted him that the children of Israel should return to their country, and therefore after this providence of God he was rightly called Zerubbabel, the doctor of Babylon. For what doctrine greater than to show that truth is the mistress of all things? Gloss. But this seems to contradict the genealogy which is read in Chronicles, for there it is said that Jeconias begot Salathiel, and Phadias, and Phadias begot Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel Masalah, and Ananias, and Solomith their sister. 1 Chronicles 3:17. But we know that many parts of the Chronicles have been corrupted by time and error of transcribers. Hence come many and controverted questions of genealogies which the Apostle bids us avoid. 1 Timothy 1:4. Or it may be said that Salathiel and Phadias are the same man under two different names, or that Salathiel and Phadias were brothers, and both had sons of the same name, and that the writer of the history followed the genealogy of Zerubbabel, the son of Salathiel. From Abihud down to Joseph no history is found in the Chronicles, but we read that the Hebrews had many other annals, which were called the Words of the Days, of which much was burned by Herod, who was a foreigner, in order to confound the descent of the royal line, and perhaps Joseph had read in them the names of his ancestors, or knew them from some other source, and thus the evangelist could learn the succession of this genealogy. It should be noted that the first Jeconiah is called the resurrection of the Lord, the second the preparation of the Lord. Both are very applicable to the Lord Christ, who declares, "I am the resurrection and the life," John 11:25, and "I go to prepare a place for you," John 14:2. Salathiel, i.e. the Lord, is my petition, is suitable to him who said, "Holy Father, keep them whom thou hast given me," John 17:11. Remigius. He is also Zerubbabel, that is, the master of confusion. According to that, your master eateth with publicans and sinners, Matthew 9:11. He is Abihud, that is, he is my father. According to that, I and the Father are one, John 10:30. He is also Eliakim, that is, God the reviver. According to that, I will revive him again in the last day, John 6:54. He is also Azor, that is, aided. According of that, he who sent me is with me, John 8:29. He is also Zadok, that is the just, or the justified. According to that he was delivered, the just for the unjust. 1 Peter 3:18. He is also Achim, that is, my brother is he, according to that whoso doeth the will of my Father, he is my brother. Matthew 12:50. He is also Eliud, that he is my God, according to that my Lord and my God. John 20:28. Gloss. He is also Eleazar, i.e., God is my helper, as in the 17th Psalm, my God, my helper. He is also Matan, that is, giving, or given, for he gave gifts for men, Ephesians 4:8. And God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, John 3:16. Remigius. He is also Jacob, that supplanteth, for not only hath he supplanted the devil, but hath given his power to his faithful people, as behold, I have given you power to tread upon serpents. Luke 10:19. He is also Joseph, that is, adding, according to that I came that they might have life, and that they might have it abundantly. Ravenous. But let us see what moral signification these names contain. After Jeconias, which means the preparation of the Lord, follows Salathiel, i.e., God is my petition, for he who is rightly prepared prays not, but of God. Again he becomes Zerubbabel, the master of Babylon, that is, of the men of the earth, whom he makes to know concerning God, that he is their father, which is signified in Abihud. Then that people rise again from their vices, whence follows Eliakim the resurrection, and thence rise to good works, which is Azor, and become Sadok, i.e., righteous. And then they are taught the love of their neighbor. He is my brother, which is signified in Achim, and through love to God he says of him, my God, which Eliud signifies. Then follows Eleazar, i.e., God is my helper. He recognizes God as his helper, but whereto he tends is shown in Matan, which is interpreted gift or giving, for he looks to God as his benefactor, as he wrestled with and overcame his vices in the beginning. So he does in the end of life, which belongs to Jacob, and thus he reaches Joseph, that is, the increase of virtues.